Hey, this is a quick post-race review of the X-Lite X803 Chaz Davies replica. This helmet is fairly new in the US, but people are starting to get more into these. They have a lot of cool colorways in the US. This one's not one of them, but you can get this if you buy overseas. The reason I'm doing this video is not to give you a detailed breakdown of the technical specs of the helmet, but more of a practical breakdown of how it performed during a race weekend. And if you want more of those technical spec reviews, you can find them on X-Lite's site, I'm sure. You could also find them at sportbiketrackgear.com or revzilla.com, who do great reviews. But this one's a post wear review, and it'll be fairly quick. I'm going to compare it to that helmet right there, which is my old helmet, the Shark Race R Pro Carbon, which I thought was a phenomenal helmet in many ways. The only reason I went away from that helmet was it was getting a little long in the tooth, but they couldn't tell me when there would be a dark visor available in the US. So I ended up purchasing this one because I love the colorway. This is the Chaz Davies colorway again. And a few things stuck out to me that I was really watching for when I was racing that weekend and really kind of aware of. One was the ventilation, and I am going to compare it to the Shark just because that's the quickest and the easiest reference point for me. The ventilation on this was very good. It was better than the Shark. There's these big ports here, and there's no filtration. Really, the air kind of hits you right in the mouth and hits you right in the forehead. And the exhaust with these vents up here, creating that Venturi effect to kind of suck the air out and exhaust the air in the back here, was pretty effective. The only concern I would have, and it was a concern I had going into it, and it was kind of confirmed, was that stuff, because there's no filtration here and no filtration here, there could be the chance for like a bug or some, a small pebble to get in the helmet, hit you in the face. And something did come in the helmet during a race, but it wasn't a big deal at that time, but it could be, I guess. So that's an issue that I'd bring up to X-Lite if anyone over there is watching this video. But that's something to be concerned about. Not too much, but it's a little thing. The other thing was the aerodynamics of this helmet, which performed really well. There was no buffeting, there was no kind of head shake that occurred during the faster straights, and you put your head out above the windscreen and it was fine. It does have this little latch to give you more downforce, I guess, or more stability in high speeds. And I thought the latch was good, but I would say the only thing about this latch is you could easily bump it and see it didn't take too much pressure for me to just kind of knock it back. So I ended one race and I looked at the helmet when I took it off, and that was closed because I probably just bumped it on my way to putting it on. That's just a nitpick again, but overall the aerodynamics on this helmet were actually better than the Shark as far as what I could feel and what I could tell, along with the ventilation, both better than the Shark. The interior liner, really nice. It was very good at wicking sweat. It's got this kind of mesh in there. I don't know if you can see the black areas. It's a kind of a loosely woven mesh, which is really good at keeping the sweat controlled and keeping the air flowing over the head. The Shark had a really nice liner. I would say it's more luxurious, but I think for racing and high performance and hot weather, this is probably a better liner. So again, I think that's a win for the X-Lite. The Shark is known for having the best optics, and it's absolutely apparent compared to this shield, which is blue mirror shield, so kind of between a medium and a dark tint when you're looking inside of it. It wasn't as good as the Shark optics. The Shark optics were phenomenal. It's a thicker screen, more durable. Everything about the Shark screen and optics was better than the X-Lite. The issue I had was weird. All that ventilation I talked about was great, but for some reason on this helmet, on this windscreen, I was getting a little bit of fogging going on during my races when I'd get really going and the sweat and the heat was coming up. So I know it came with a pin lock, which I didn't use, but I've never had to use it before. You'll want to use the pin lock on this, and I'm going to use it from now on because the screen was very susceptible to fogging. So that's what I would say is a gripe of mine so far, but hopefully that pin lock will help do that. The Shark never had that problem. My Swami before that didn't have those problems. Yeah, lightweight. It's great. It feels great on the head. It feels great while you're riding. It's super light. The colorway is awesome. I got a bunch of compliments on it. And that's a practical review post-race. If you have any questions, I guess, put them in the comments. Otherwise, for like the real detailed breakdowns on technical specs, again, go to one of the retailers that does this stuff. But I just wanted to put that out there, a post-race usage review compared to what I think is one of the best helmets on the market. Thanks.